And now, a message from the Creator.
Hello and welcome to another spine-tingling tale of strange fantasy. I'm Travis, and first off, just want to take a quick moment to thank you, the fans. Thank you for your sick love and support of the strange and obscure. You guys are awesome. And secondly, we have got some super exciting news to share with you. We filmed a strange fantasy pilot episode. That's right. And we found an entertainment lawyer that's gonna help strange fantasy find a home on the small screen. But it's gonna take some time and some money. So we need your help by visiting our Patreon page at patreon.com/strangefantasy. You can pledge, donate, and give to the cause. Be a part of the journey to television, and in turn for your wonderful patronage, we have exclusive perks and rewards to offer you. We've got t-shirts, posters, shoutouts, music, signed scripts, secret episodes, and so much more. So please go to patreon.com/strangefantasy, and let's make the world a spookier place for all. And remember, we exist to entertain ourselves and you. Thank you all. And now,
your feature presentation.
Welcome to another regaling of strange fantasy. Obscure odysseys meant to shock the nervous system and stir the very core of your soul. Tonight's tale is of repair and the effect one can have on others. Is it better for something you have to be unknowingly taken or unknowingly lost? In this installment entitled Mind Over Matter.
Come on. This'll have to do.
we can't put Mr. Wozniak in here. This is a private room.
I don't think he'll mind. Mr. Laynard's a long-term resident of ours. Aren't you, Mr. Laynard? We just celebrated his 9-year comiversary. Mr. Wozniak couldn't ask for a better roommate, could you?
I'm sure it'll be fine, thank you. Any word from my family yet?
We're notifying all the families as quickly as we can.
They'll be worried about me. They were supposed to meet me at the bus terminal.
We're doing everything we can.
Any chance I could get a TV? I want to see if there was anything about the crash on the news.
Yeah, sorry, not in here. Ordinarily, we put you in a recovery room, but this is a small hospital, and we're just not really designed to handle multiple injury accidents. Your bus has put us over capacity.
But Dr. Phillips has taken good care of you, and he said what you need now is rest, so try not to worry and get some sleep. Now, my name's Carol. This is Nurse Blankenship. And if you do need anything, just press that little button and one of us will come running, okay?
Thank you.
Come on, we better get back to the ER.
Hey, I'll see if I can sneak you in a radio. Good morning, Mr. Wozniak. Sorry I wasn't able to get back to you last night, but I've got good news for you. Your family is here and they'll be in to see you in just a few moments. Mr. W? Hey, come on, my man. Time to wake up. Greet the day. Mr. W? Mr. W? Oh man, you're barely breathing. Carol, get in here.
What is it?
Something's wrong with Mr. W. His pulse is low. He's barely breathing.
I'll get Dr. Phillips.
Should I get his family in here?
Not until I get the doctor. You stay here and keep an eye on him.
Oh man, Oh, what's going on, Mr. W, huh? You were fine last night. Oh, man. Ah! Holy shit!
What happened?
Dude just grabbed my wrist.
Mr. Wozniak grabbed your wrist?
No, this dude, coma guy.
That's impossible. He's been in a coma for 9 years.
I'm telling you, the dude grabbed me.
What's wrong with Mr. Wozniak?
I can't say. We'll have to run some tests, though. Get him back into
Did
the...
you hear that, Doctor?
Was that Mr. Wozniak?
I'm telling you, it was this dude.
Impossible. Quiet, everyone.
What is going on?
I told you.
I can't believe it. Mr. What's his name?
Mr. Laynard.
Mr. Laynard. You have a feeding tube in, so don't try and talk. You've been in a coma. We'll get someone in to take care of you in a few moments, but right now, don't try and move, all right? All right, Blankenship, you stay here with Mr. Laynard. Keep an eye on him. Let me know the minute anything changes. Carol, you take Mr. Wozniak down and get scanned. Let's see if he has any internal injuries we may have missed. Who's Mr. Laynard's doctor?
Kovac, but he retired 2 years ago.
Right. Once you have Wozniak prepped, find out who he was assigned to after Kovac retired and get me his notes, okay?
Okay.
How's our patient, Blankenship?
Huh? Just the same, Doctor Phillips.
Well, we'll see if we can improve that. Help me remove his feeding tube, will you?
Huh? Oh yeah, let's do it.
You okay?
Yeah, I think so. Just a bit, out of it, you know?
How long have you been on?
Oh, about 14 hours. 14 hours, I think.
Why don't you head home? I'll take care of Mr. Laynard.
I'm not gonna say no to that. Did you, find out, hold on. Did you find out,
Who his new primary is? Looks like due to an oversight, he's all mine now.
And how is
Mr. Wozniak? Still running tests, but they've been unable to wake him. You don't sound good at all. Go get some rest. We got it from here.
Hey, thanks. Will do.
There you go, Mr. Laynard. Let's get that feeding tube out. Now, can you understand me?
I don't understand.
All right. Now, I don't know if you realize it or not, but you're not speaking clearly. I'm going to call down for you to have some scans done so we can see if your brain is okay. Sound good?
We did.
Paging Dr. Musaragas. You are needed in surgery. Dr. Kane, you have a...
There he is. Someone must have brought him down before Teston received the orders.
Well, no harm done, I suppose. Hello, Mr. Laynard. I'm sorry you were left here alone. We're not usually this busy. There must have been some confusion with our staff getting you back up to your room. Can you please have Kennedy take him back up to his room? And I'd like to see the person that ran these scans, please.
What's wrong?
Oh, look at these. Look how fuzzy they came out. There's no detail here at all. Now, they know better than this. They should have restrained him and rescanned him. These are unusable.
You want me to see he's rescanned before taken back upstairs?
I think we'd better, don't you?
Thank you.
Well, that's a good sign, isn't it? I sent Blankenship home. He wasn't looking well. Would you keep me updated on his progress?
Of course.
Hey, Piper. My shift just ended. You want to grab a drink? What's this?
Scans on Mr. Laynard.
Well, thanks. You could have just left these with the duty nurse.
Well, since you seem to think I'm not competent in my job, I thought I'd better bring them to you personally.
What are you talking about?
Well, take a look at his scans and you'll see.
I don't understand. I thought you were going to redo these.
I did. These were run 7 times. Every time they came out the same, and before you say anything, no, he was not moving around. He was perfectly still.
You're kidding me. How can these scans be this fuzzy?
I don't know, but that's why Laynard was out in the hall. We were trying to figure out what was wrong with the MRI machine before we rescanned him again.
So what's wrong with the machine?
Nothing. Not as far as we can tell. His CT scan came back weird too, see?
They can't both be broken.
Well, they're not. Not as far as we can tell, at least. I ran through myself just to be sure.
Well, talk to Stevens. We may have to open him up. There's definitely some kind of damage there, and without knowing exactly what, we can't treat him.
Stevens just came on. Do you want me to see if he can fit him in before his other surgeries, or do you want him to wait until you're back on the clock?
If he can get to him, then the sooner the better.
Sounds good.
I'm going to read through some of Laynard's medical records over lunch, and then I'm going to get some sleep. I'm not back on until tomorrow night, but Carol's watching him and has instructions to let me know if anything changes.
I'll see what I can get rolling.
I've missed you.
Better have.
Hello? What a difference a day makes. Hey, Chelsea. I guess things are getting back to normal around here. It's strange how a little excitement can make you forget how dead this place usually is, am I right?
Right. Can I help you?
I'm sorry?
Do you feel sick? This is a hospital and we help sick people here.
What are you talking about? I'm Dr. Phillips. I work here, Chelsea. You know that.
Of course. I'm sorry, Dr. Phillips.
Is Dr. Stevens around?
I think so. He's also a doctor here?
Are you drunk again, Chels?
No, sorry. I must not have slept well last night.
Yeah, I guess the bus accident threw a lot of people off, didn't it? Anyway, Dr. Stevens?
I think he's in radiology.
Thanks, Chels. Get some rest later if you can.
Will do.
Good morning, Mr. Laynard. I'm not sure if you remember me. I'm Dr. Phillips, and I'll be handling your care from here on.
I remember you, Dr. Phillips. You were here when I woke up, right?
Well, you certainly are doing better. That's remarkable. My hat's off to Dr. Stevens. When they opened you up, I guess he was able to repair some of the damage.
I'm feeling better. Nice man with the big hands brought me some Jell-O. It was very good.
You like Jell-O? That's good. Your throat will be sore for a while, so you'll be having lots of Jell-O, I assure you. You've had a feeding tube in for a long time.
Where am I?
Well, you're in the hospital. You've been in a coma for about 9 years. But you're out of it now. So we're going to do everything we can to get you all fixed up and out of here.
Thank you. I'd like to go home, please.
Well, that's something I wanted to ask you about, Mr. Laynard. Do you know where home is exactly?
No, not really.
Well, can you tell me the names of any of your friends or family?
I can't remember.
Can you tell me your name, Mr. Laynard?
Is it Mr. Laynard?
Well, yes. But I mean your first name. Do you know your first name?
No.
It's okay, Mr. Laynard. It's okay. If it makes you feel any better, I'm not quite sure either. You see, I've been going over your medical records, and I can't find your first name anywhere on them. Do you know what happened to you? How you came to be in a coma? Do you remember getting injured, being in a car, falling down some stairs? What's the last thing you do remember?
I remember being afraid.
Well, you don't have to be afraid anymore. We'll take good care of you. I've got to go check on my other patients, but I'll be back in a bit and we can talk some more.
Okay.
Dr. Levens to radiology, please. Dr. Levens.
Piper, how you doing?
I've been better. 2 of the nursing staff are out sick, so everyone's a little stressed.
That's not unusual. Most of them haven't pulled such long shifts since their internships.
Well, that's true, but even so, everyone just seems a bit off their game. Carol accidentally gave the same patient their daily meds 3 times in an hour.
You're kidding. Are they dead?
The patient is fine, but she's in with HR right now.
Chelsea seemed a bit off this morning, too. It's like she couldn't remember who I was.
And then there's Dr. Stevens.
Did a great job with Mr. Laynard. He's a lot more communicative now, but there's nothing on his chart to indicate what the repair was. If Laynard was developmentally disabled before his coma, then we might...
Hold on. What do you mean?
Mr. Laynard, I just came from talking to him, but Stevens didn't notate his chart.
Mr. Laynard is speaking? Clearly?
Yeah. I assumed it was because of a repair Dr. Stevens did.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. Stevens didn't get to do anything on him. The way I hear it, Stevens had just finished opening him up when he froze.
Is Pete okay?
Yeah. Apparently he just stood there for like 15 minutes. You know, he's like in the OR. None of the nurses dared question him, so when he started moving again, he was clumsy and confused. Eventually, one of the nurses called Dr. Parks to help remove him. I think it might have been some kind of a stroke, but they haven't been able to find anything. He's resting in an observation room for the moment.
That's insane. So Dr. Parks finished the surgery?
No. They just closed him back up. They didn't end up doing anything. That's why it doesn't make sense for Mr. Laynard to be verbal again.
What?
I'm telling you, you don't suppose he could be faking, do you? Maybe before he was comatose, he was a Munchausen case?
And he just wakes up after 9 years and instinctively falls back into that pattern?
Could be. If he was faking an illness and was mistreated, that could have caused the coma in the first place.
It's an intriguing theory. Tell you what, can you arrange for him to be given some placebos? I tracked down Dr. Kovac. After I do my rounds, I'm going to go try and pay a visit to him.
Sure thing. But try not to be gone too long. We're short-staffed as it is.
Thanks, Piper. Hello, I'm Sean Phillips. I called earlier. I'm here to see Mr. Kovac.
Of course. If you would fill out our visitor log, please. Thank you, Mr. Phillips. That's Mr. Kovac right over there.
Thank you. Hello, sir.
Hello, young man.
Thank you for taking the time to meet with me. My name is Dr. Phillips. I work at Graceview Hospital. I started shortly after you retired. I was hoping to talk to you about one of your former patients, a Mr. Laynard.
I'm sorry, young man. I think you've got the wrong fella. That there's the man that used to work in the hospital.
My apologies. Dr. Kovac, I was hoping you could tell me about one of your former patients.
You won't get anything out of him, my friend. He can't talk, you know. Just stares out the window.
I'm sorry. They didn't tell me. Was it a stroke?
Not as far as I know. He barely spoke when he got here, but after a month or so, he spoke less and less until he was gone. Name's Harry, by the way.
Sean.
You said you used to work with Oscar there.
No, I started after he retired, but I have one of his old patients.
Oscar used to talk about his patients all the time, back when he could. Well, I say talk, he muttered mainly. Made it kind of hard to sleep. Finally got used to it. And then next day he was quiet as a mouse.
That's a shame. He's so young.
Relatively speaking.
Well, I guess I'm not going to learn much here, am I? It was nice meeting you, Harry, but I should get back to the hospital.
Now, you have a safe trip, you hear?
Will do. You have a good day.
If his friend Maynard works there, tell him I hope he's all right. Oscar sure talked about him a lot.
Wait. Did you... Is it possible he said Laynard?
Yeah, Leonard. That's possible. My hearing's not too good these days.
What did he say about Laynard, exactly?
Lots of things. Most of it I couldn't understand. Seemed real protective of him, though.
Can you be any more specific?
Well, would say. Leave him alone a lot. Figured he must have protected him. Been bullied or some such. Always kind of assumed Maynard was a kid brother of his or something.
I'm going to give you my card, Harry. If you can think of anything else that he said about Mr. Laynard, give me a call.
My pleasure. Oh, and one thing. Think his friend's name might be Joshua.
Good book, Joshua?
Joshua? Joshua. That's me, isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is. You look like you're doing a lot better.
I'm doing much better, thank you. One of the nurses was kind enough to bring me something to read.
The Great Gatsby. Classic. The story of the falsities of the American dream.
And class permanence.
And class permanence, yes. Maybe you can help me understand something, Joshua. You see, in a matter of days, you've gone from being comatose to barely being able to speak to this morning where I, no offense, would probably equate your cognitive development to that of a 9-year-old to reading The Great Gatsby.
You do very good work, Dr. Phillips.
But that's just it. We haven't really done anything for you. As far as I can tell, this recovery is all you. Now, what do you think about that?
Well, I mean, great, I suppose. Finding out I was in a coma for 9 years wasn't exactly a pleasant shock, but at least I don't need a lot of expensive surgeries, do I?
Do you know what Munchausen syndrome is, Joshua?
It's a factitious disorder where one pretends to be sick or causes themselves harm to elicit sympathy or attention from other naivety. How do I know that?
You probably read it somewhere.
I don't remember reading it.
Are you all right, Joshua?
I don't feel well.
Have you eaten today? Your blood sugar could be low.
I did, yes. Carol brought me some Jell-O about an hour ago.
I'll have her bring you an extra helping. Joshua, would you mind if we ran a few cognitive tests? I'm glad you're doing better, but I'd rather be safe than sorry.
No, of course not. Whatever will get me home to...
Try not to worry about it. It'll come. I'll see you downstairs in about an hour, okay?
Understood. By the way, how is Dr. Kovac doing?
Not well, I'm afraid. He's had some health issues.
I hope Harry's in good company.
Harry seems like a sweet guy. I'm sure he's in good hands.
You are needed in the ICU.
So, do you think he's faking?
I don't know. This just isn't sitting well with me.
He gave a textbook definition of Munchausen's, like someone who's probably been caught before.
You didn't see him. He seemed genuinely disturbed that he knew what it meant.
Okay, easy. Like I said before, he had Munchausen's and mistreatment sent him into the coma. He comes out, has legitimate memory loss, but he vaguely remembers this behavior he used to exhibit and subconsciously falls back on it when he comes out of his coma without realizing or understanding it.
Maybe. But that still doesn't explain his records. No first name on the chart. And the stuff I read from Dr. Kovac was just weird. There's no diagnosis, no record of injury or admittance, just enough there to keep people from asking questions. It's like the whole file was faked.
Okay. What if Kovac was the one who was taken in by the Munchausens? He sends the guy into a coma, and then to hide his mistake, he makes up a fake medical history to hide his malpractice.
What, and nobody came looking for the guy? No friends, no family?
Fake file, fake name?
Could be. Tell you what, I have a friend that's good with computers. I'm going to get him to look a little further into this, see if he can find anything on our Laynard's past, including any missing persons that might fit his stats. You'll run the cognitive test?
You bet. You've got me invested now. I've got a hole in my schedule in about an hour. Want to do it then?
I've got to meet with a caseworker in an hour. Record it for me?
You got it.
Sounds good.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sorry, I know. Not in public. Do I get to see you Friday night at least?
Maybe, if work cooperates.
Well, I would like to take you out to dinner if work cooperates.
Well, I would like to let you if work cooperates.
Well, then I hope work cooperates.
Okay, now I want you to draw a clock face as it would look in a mirror that read 10 minutes past 11 o'clock. Very good. Now, take these 3 blocks. I'm going to show you a series of designs, and I want you to arrange them in the tray so that the colors and patterns on the blocks match the designs I show you, okay?
Am I going for speed, accuracy, or both?
Accuracy mostly, but you will have a limited time to complete the activity.
I understand.
Okay, first design.
Hey, Blankenship.
Oh, Dr. Phillips. You spooked me.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Got out of my case report a little early, so I thought I'd see how the tests were going. You feeling any better?
A bit. Just tired, you know? Like when you get too much sleep, but you wake up exhausted. It's like that.
If you need me to prescribe you something, let me know, all right? How's it going here?
Honestly, dude's giving me the creeps, man. He's blowing through these questions like they ain't nothing.
Definitely not what we'd expect of a post-coma patient. How we doing in there?
Dr. Phillips, glad you could join us.
We're doing well here, Dr. Phillips. I think Dr. McNay is quite impressed with me.
No comment.
Done. May I have the next card, please?
We're gonna pause for a second. Give me a moment to talk to Dr. Phillips, all right?
As you wish, Doctor.
How's it going?
Creepy.
That's what I said.
There's no cognition loss there. I'd say his brain is operating above average, if anything. I can finish the test if you want, but spatial awareness, problem solving, short-term memory, all of that has been perfect so far.
No, I think we can call it. We're not going to learn anything more from...
Wait. Look what he's doing.
Dude's just playing with the blocks till you get back.
I think you may have spoken too soon, Sean. Do you see what he's making?
Yeah, so?
So that was the design on the next card.
The next card in the test? He did it from memory?
No. No, I never showed him the card. I set it face down on the table when I paused the test.
So dude snuck a look at the card while we were talking.
Did you see him touch the card?
No, but
You haven't taken your eyes off him, Seth. Wait here. I want to try something. Ready, Joshua? We're going to continue on. Now we're going to try something a little different. This time, I'm going to just put the card face down on the table and ask you to copy the design, okay?
How am I supposed to copy the design if I can't see the face of the card, Piper?
We're just going to give it a try, okay? If you can't do it, that's fine, but I want you to try.
Very well.
Anything?
I'm still not sure what you expect me to do.
Just concentrate. Try and picture the card in your mind.
What is she doing?
Trying to see if he's clairvoyant, I think. Dr. McNay, are you doing what I think you're doing?
I'll be with you in a moment, Dr. Phillips. Come on, Joshua. Anything?
Sorry, no.
Dr. McNay?
Just another minute. Just ignore them, Josh. Focus on the card.
Well, so much for the scientific approach.
You going to pull the plug?
Yeah, I'd better. Once Dr. McNay gets an idea in her head, it's hard to shake. How did he know about Harry?
How did he know about Harry what?
When I got back from the care home, Joshua asked me about Dr. Kovac.
So?
Dr. Kovac wouldn't have met Harry until last year when he'd gone into the care home. Joshua couldn't have known about Harry. For that matter, he just called her Piper?
You lost me, Doc.
Take a look at the card, Piper.
I'm trying an experiment here, Dr. Phillips. Please
Just trust me, please. Don't show Mr. Lane the card, but you take a look at it.
What exactly are we waiting for?
Give it a second. Son of a bitch is reading her mind.
Whoa.
Joshua, can you tell me what is on this card?
A house.
And this one?
A star.
Good. Keep going.
A diamond, a pinwheel, a triangle.
I never would have believed it if I hadn't seen it.
The dude reads minds? Man, no wonder he was in a coma. That kind of thing must give you one hell of a headache.
Hey, I think you're onto something there. If he's got some sort of extrasensory perception, then that could have sent him into some kind of shock, resulting in the coma.
So what do you want me to do with him?
We want to keep him as isolated as possible. Limit the number of staff that have access to him. You, me, Piper, and other necessary staff only.
No, I don't want to go near the guy. Let him read someone else's thoughts.
All right.
Mm-mm.
See if Carol's feeling better.
Are we telling people about this?
Not yet. Still a few questions I want answered. Reading again, Mr. Laynard?
Please, call me Joshua. You were kind enough to help me remember my name. I'd like you to use it.
Fair enough. So what are you reading, Joshua?
Dr. McNay was kind enough to bring me some medical textbooks. I thought maybe they might help me figure out what's happening to me.
We have a couple of theories, but I'd be interested to hear what you think. Particularly if you've remembered anything else from your life before your coma.
No, that's still a blank, I'm afraid.
You can tell me the truth, Joshua. You're my patient, and I have a duty to make sure you come to no harm.
I assure you, Doctor, I am as eager to remember my past as you are.
Well, I've got some friends looking into it. Do you know if you knew Dr. Kovac before you went into your coma?
I think I might have. I have, impressions of him. I think he was a very kind man.
You told me earlier that you remembered being afraid. Any more idea what you might have been afraid of?
I think someone wanted to hurt me. Can you think of any reason why someone would want to hurt me?
No. No, I can't think of any reason, Joshua. You're quite a find. For all we know, you're the next step forward in human evolution. Can't think of any reason why anyone would want to harm you. I've got a friend I'm going to go visit. He's going to help me see what we can dig up about your past. I won't be back until tomorrow, but until then, Nurse Carol and Dr. McNay are going to be taking care of you, okay?
They're both quite pleasant company. I'm sure that will be fine. You are romantically involved with Dr. McNay, aren't you?
Yes. Yes, I am. Did she mention something to you, or could you sense it?
I could just tell. As well as her feelings for you are very strong.
That's good to know.
You are concerned that because she does not wish to make your relationship public, that her feelings are not sincere for you. It's quite the opposite. It's because she feels so strongly for you that she doesn't want to change the dynamic for fear of losing what you have.
That's actually really good to hear. Thank you, Joshua. Do me a favor, though. Don't tell her anything about how I feel about her.
But you wish her to know.
I do. I just prefer to tell her myself. That's quite a gift you have there, Joshua. You have to be careful how you use it. What the hell? Excuse me. Is Mr. Tibbs home?
Mr. Tibbs has been arrested. May I ask who you are, sir?
I'm an old college friend of his. I was just passing through town. I thought I'd stop in and say hi.
I see. Have you had any recent contact with Mr. Tibbs?
Not really. I messaged him to let him know I was in town, and we had a couple of polite how you been, so that's about it.
May I see your ID, sir?
Sure. I think I left it back at the hotel.
May I have your name, sir?
Sean. Blankenship.
You shouldn't be driving without an ID on you, Mr. Blankenship.
I know. I was just in a rush this morning. I must have just left it on the nightstand. Will you excuse me for a moment? Hello?
Hello. I'm trying to reach Dr. Phillips.
That's me.
Hello, Mr. Phillips. It's Harry.
Harry. It's good to hear from you. It's my Uncle Harry.
You told me to give you a call if I remembered anything else about Mr. Kovac.
That's right, Harry. What do you got for me?
Well, I don't know if it's important, but I think he might have some kind of parasite.
Parasite?
A parasite?
Yeah, he ate some sushi, and apparently it's not sitting well. So what makes you think it's a parasite, Harry?
Well, the last day he was talking, he started pulling his hair out by the goddamned fistful. When the staff tried to stop him, he was shouting at them, calling them parasites. I was thinking, since he got sick so fast, maybe he meant he might have had a parasite.
Thanks, Harry. That's good to know.
Hey, if he has a parasite, there's no chance of him giving it to me, is there?
No. No, you should be fine, Harry. Just promise me you won't go back to that sushi place anymore, all right? All right, I gotta go, Harry. I'll see you soon, okay?
What are you talking about? Sushi place? I don't eat no.
Sorry about that. When you're a doctor, everyone comes to you with every little thing, you know?
You're a doctor?
Yeah. I figured who needs sleep, right?
It's a very noble calling. Was wondering if you wouldn't mind coming with us and answering some questions, Mr. Blankenship.
I wouldn't be able to tell you much. Like I said, I barely keep in touch. Besides, I really should go check on my uncle. He's a bit of a hypochondriac, but you can't be too careful.
I really must insist.
No offense, sir, but I haven't broken any laws. And you can't detain me without good cause, and like I said, I've barely been in contact with the man.
You have a good day, Mr. Blankenship. I hope your uncle's okay. Drive safe.
Thank you. And good luck with all this.
By the way, you never asked what he was arrested for.
What?
You didn't seem that surprised he had been arrested. You didn't even ask what he had been arrested for. I think you'd be interested in maybe what he'd done.
Not really any of my business.
He broke into a government server and accessed classified medical files. That wouldn't mean anything to you, now would it, Doctor?
Nope, not a thing. You have a good day, Mr.
Brown. Agent Brown. You'll let us know if you think of anything relevant, won't you? Have a nice day.
You too.
Hey, Carol. How is Mr. Laner doing?
He won't play with me.
I think something may be wrong with her.
Make him play with me, please.
Carol? Carol, look at me. Are you okay?
Where am I? I want to go home.
Can I get some help to room B13, please? Bring a wheelchair. How long has she been like this?
About an hour. We were playing chess, but her competency began to degrade rapidly. Her regression has been continual.
Why didn't you call for help?
I am unsure.
I just got off the phone with Dr. Phillips. He's on his way back, but he won't get here till this evening. You wouldn't remember an Agent Brown by chance? Would you?
Brown? Brown? No! Brown must not come here. He must not find me.
Hello? Hello? Anyone here? Oh my God. Sir? Sir, are you okay? Wake up, sir. I need some help here. Is anyone at reception? Chelsea? Chelsea? Chelsea, wake up, Chelsea. What the hell is going on? Piper? Piper! Piper! Oh, thank God I found you. Do you have any idea what's going on around here? Everyone I've seen is asleep. I can't wake them up. Piper?
You drive fast. Vroom! I want to drive car too.
Piper?
Can we color? Blue is my favorite.
Piper, snap out of it. You're a doctor, for God's sakes.
I'm afraid she's in no shape to be acting as a doctor.
Joshua, you're walking. How are you walking?
I believe the expression is mind over matter. Isn't that right?
What are you?
I honestly don't know. The next stage in human evolution, I believe, was your theory. You've recently met Agent Brown.
I have. You must also know I didn't tell him anything about you.
He's a smart man with a lot of resources. It won't take him long to piece together the trail. It will lead him here.
What's wrong with Piper?
I think you know.
I do?
You suspect the truth.
You're a parasite, aren't you? Mentally, you're just a hollow shell, but you feed off the mental energies of others, absorbing them, reducing them to this.
Unfortunately, Dr. Kovac helped to hide me from the government. Agent Brown and his compatriots see me as a threat, a weapon, not as a person. So Dr. Kovac hid me the only way he knew how. He induced a coma and kept me separated from the mental energies of others.
Until they brought Mr. Wozniak in your room.
Yes. It was his mental energy that stimulated me to awaken.
Why would you do this to Piper? She was nothing but kind to you.
Until she saw what I was becoming capable of. Then she feared me.
I'm afraid of you.
I know. I sensed it as soon as you entered the hospital, but yes, she was kind to me. It is not an ability that I can control. It seems to be influenced by a number of factors: proximity, adrenaline, emotional state.
Can you undo it?
Why should I?
Because look what you've done to her. You have no right.
Why shouldn't I have a right to exist? I am sentient life. I have feelings and emotions. I have every right to exist. I am human.
I'm not saying you don't have a right to exist, but you don't have the right to harm others to do so.
You consumed the equivalent of your body weight in plant and animal matter just this year alone. How is this any different?
Because these are people, Leonard. Living, thinking, intelligent people, and you aren't just consuming them to stay alive. You're gorging yourself.
But what if what you said is true? I could be the future. If I consume enough, expand my mind enough, who knows what I could achieve? I could cure disease, reverse the damage done to the environment. I can see into all minds the problems of the world. How can I do good if you put me back in a coma?
Yeah, it's true. You might be able to help mankind. You might be able to do great things, but we can't hurt people to get there.
There are numerous examples in your history of people being harmed in the pursuit of progress. Builders dying for structural achievements. patients being denied medication to study the effects of syphilis.
Yeah, but as we become more enlightened as a society, we start to see how wrong that is. If you are a step forward in evolution, it can't just be purely mental. Mental strength without emotional strength means nothing. You have to see that. Someone's here.
It is Agent Brown. He has found me.
You have to get out of here. I'll stall him.
You still wish to protect me, even after seeing what has happened to the woman you love.
I'm your doctor, Joshua. I have a duty to keep you from harm.
Open the door!
Agent Brown, we can talk about this, but I've got some very sick people in here that are in quarantine. I'll meet you in the lobby.
Break it down.
I don't know what to do.
Nobody move!
You won't need those. I need to leave now, before I do any more harm.
You're not going anywhere.
He has another gun.
Bang, bang!
Joshua! Holy shit, they're all frozen.
You were going to take a bullet for me.
I didn't really have time to think.
I know. You just reacted. That instinct was something I could not predict. I had to see it for myself.
I don't understand.
You are not really here. While people are conscious, the mental drain I have on them is much, much slower. In order for us to speak, I induced a sleep state as soon as you entered the hospital. I have done the same for everyone in the building. Everything you are experiencing now is in your mind.
You mean Piper is
safe? She is asleep as well. I was able to expand my abilities before much harm came to her. I regret there are others that are too far along for me to help. The damage I have done to them may not be reversible, but I'm afraid I have no way to tell. This is uncharted territory for me.
So what happens now?
Dr. Kovac thought the best way to protect me was to hide me. He sacrificed pieces of himself to keep me alive long enough for me to mature. Now, I will go somewhere safe. Somewhere I can exist without harming others.
Do you know where?
I do. And you will have the knowledge too. But it will be buried where others cannot take it from you. I hope to see you again one day, Dr. Phillips. Thank you for your trust. Goodbye.
What? Piper? Piper! Piper! Piper, wake up!
Oh, what hit me? Where's Mr. Laynard?
He's gone. But you're okay? What's my name? Who's the president?
You know we don't talk politics. If you want to talk politics, and what happened to our rule?
Things change. Sometimes for the better.
And you have no idea where he is now?
Not a clue. You've seen the security footage. He left before I even woke up, right?
Correct. And what about you, ma'am?
No, sorry.
So who was he? I assume his name wasn't really Joshua Laynard.
That's classified, I'm afraid. Did Laynard give you any idea of where he might be heading?
Something tells me you don't have to worry about him.
Can we rest? I'm getting winded.
Just a little further. The key to hiking is momentum. Once we stop, it'll get harder to start up again.
How'd I let you talk me into this?
You said you wanted to be alone for a honeymoon, didn't you?
Yes, but this isn't what I was expecting.
You regret it?
Nah. View's too good.
View's pretty good from here, too.
Stop it. What made you pick this place anyway?
I don't know. Just in the back of my mind for a while, I suppose. Probably would have come up here sooner, but you insisted on a long engagement.
And to be sure you were sure.
Sure if I was sure, or sure if you were sure?
Sure. Hey, look over there. Is that a cabin?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Think they'd let us use the bathroom?
If anyone's home. Most of the cabins around here are seasonal. Want to give it a shot? Anybody home? We'd like to use your facilities if possible.
Look at that, the name on the door.
Gatsby.
You don't think?
Chaos and true change, met with restoration and isolation. What the future holds, be it yours to make. Thus concludes tonight's strange fantasy. Tune in next time for another look into the strange and obscure.
Strange Fantasy presented Mind Over Matter, written by Michael Song, produced by Ashley Scarbro and Travis Scarbro. Original scores by Travis Scarbro and Dyssent. The players of tonight's tale are as follows: Heath Allyn as Laynard, Brian Villalobos as Dr. Phillips, Akasha Villalobos as Piper, Travis Scarbro as Nurse Blankenship, Morgan Clyde as Nurse Carol, Ashley Scarbro as Chelsea, Shane Hill as Harry, Jeff Waters as Mr. Wozniak, Michael Song as Agent Brown, and Kathy Waters as the attendant. Strange Fantasy was created by Travis Scarbro and is copyright 2022 Strange Fantasy Productions, all rights reserved. Any and all characters appearing in this work are fictitious, and any resemblance to any persons living or dead is purely coincidental.